Hey there, it's Jenny from Southern Savers. It's Monday night, and it's time for our Q&A, which is always a fun time to ask your questions on saving money, couponing, budgeting, whatever you want, really. I'm happy with, usually. I don't think you guys have really thrown much at me I wasn't willing to answer, but that's the fun part. Ask your questions in the comments, and I will get to them as we go through tonight. I always come with a topic, too, and I thought tonight we would go back to a topic that is a basic but an important one, and we would talk organization. Really, if you don't have a way that you're organizing your coupons or you don't like the way you're organizing them, this can make or break you. The option that you choose to organize your coupons can be a little on the intense side. So we don't want to do that. We want to make this as easy, as simple as possible. And that is our goal tonight. So as we go through, I'm going to share with you different ways that you can organize your coupons, and you can, kind of pick and choose. You can make it work for you based on your own lifestyle, I guess, your own OCD tendencies, however you want to look at that. We're all either, you know who you are. I have children who would color coordinate their closet if they actually took the time to hang things up. I kind of do that a little bit too. So you get who you are. We all organize a little differently, but that's kind of the fun of it. So I'm going to walk you through just various ways, and then you can pick or choose. You can make it work for you, but feel free to ask questions too as we go through. So I will try to catch those. My husband is also in the comments. So between the two of us, we should be able to catch most of the comments who come through. That's the goal, is to not miss all of your comments. We're going to dive in onto the organization side, but feel free to ask any questions that you have, saving money, deals that are out there. I really don't mind. Now, the basics of organizing coupons. I'm just going to start on what I don't do. How about that? So this is not what I do. I bought this years ago. I always wanted to do a coupon binder. I spent a whole weekend moving into this. And guys, if you could see all of these expiration dates, they are in 2009. It has not been used. It's just used for moments like this to try to tell folks that this isn't necessarily where you want to go first. Now, I know there are some of you who love your coupon binder. So I'm not trying to smash what somebody loves, but I will say for most of us, this is you're going to need some anti-anxiety med in the end. You're not going to be able to live here very long. And for me, I kind of died probably 2 months in. I didn't last long at all because every week it takes a good hour and a half to get all the coupons in here. You got to cut them. You got to organize them by however you want to do that. So I did this based on locations in the store. So drinks and snacks and baby. But you got to deal with all that. And you're talking about an easy hour and a half to do that on a big week. So this past week, we got 3 inserts in yesterday's paper. You're going to be sitting here for a while. So this is not what I do. Now, can this save you money? Yeah, it can, but it's a slow system and it's going to make you shop slow too. So that's the other downside that you need to realize if you go with something intense, is that really when you get to the store, your goal is to get every deal that you can because you just spent 5 hours getting them all in there. We don't really need to do that. So we're going to save as much money as this person, but with a lot less time involved. And that's really our ultimate goal. I want to save money, but I don't want to spend 10 hours just getting ready to go to the store. That's just a little too intense. So we're kind of starting backwards in a sense, but this is not what I would recommend, especially for those of you who are brand new. So we're going to jump into some other ones. And yes, Lynn's commenting on the Facebook side. I saw that too. I'm so excited. So the Lady Seminoles are headed to the softball World Series. That's very fun. And I know the men's whole, tourney is just getting started. But kind of exciting. Little side note there. Thanks for cheering on with me, Lynn. Okay, so since we hit what I don't do, let's go to what I do recommend. So for me, I keep my inserts whole. And I know whenever I bring this up, the first question is always, where do you get your inserts from? So these are my inserts. They came in today's mail. I get them every Monday in the mail, and I do order online. So I already have that link ready to stick in the comments, but we order from SundayCouponInserts.com, and I get 4 sets. Now, that is not, if you're brand new, this is not where you need to go. You don't necessarily need 4 sets because that's a lot of coupons. You know, if it's just you and your husband, that's way more than the 2 of you are going to need to get deals. We want to be able to get enough of an item for 6 weeks when it's on sale. So for most of us, that's really like 3. You know, how many times the next 6 weeks are you going to eat tacos? Or are you going to have a jar of pickles? I don't need 12. So I don't need a ton of inserts here. Now we get 4 of each. So this week there were 3 inserts. There was 3 red plums, there was a red plum. So I have 4 red plums. There was a Procter & Gamble. We have 4 Procter & Gambles. You get the idea. So it looks like a big stack. And then we have 4 Smart Sources, 1 of each. That's really the goal here. Now the reason I have 4 is that I also have a family of 7. So my stocking up for 6 weeks looks very different than a family of 2 stocking up for 6 weeks. And we all need to wrap our head around that. Now, I want to get on a little tiny soapbox here before we go into organizing. Because if you are going insane, if you are getting a ton of inserts, you're going to the store and you're grabbing 40 packages of Tide Pods, that's exciting, and I'm glad you got a really, really good deal on them. But there's a problem because you're not going to walk out of that door with them being completely free. You're still paying something for them. Even if it's 50 cents a package, it's a great deal. But if you're grabbing 40 of something, that's still 20 bucks in detergent that you really don't need. You're going to see a ton of detergent deals. So I don't have to grab this one and act like it's the last deal that will ever exist on laundry detergent, guys. It will come on sale again. So just chant that to yourself. But the reason for that is really a couple-fold. But the biggest one is your budget. So you still have to try to be within some kind of regular grocery budget. And if you're off buying tons of this and tons of that, you're probably spending the same amount that you were spending before couponing. Yes, you're getting a ton more, but you're not actually saving anything when we really look at it by a budget standpoint. So small soapbox there. There are a lot of times where I just want to take people and just like calm them down. Like, let's just think happy thoughts and let's stop shopping for a little bit because they get so into it. We don't need to be there. 6 weeks. That's all we need to do. I promise, guys. Now, back to the coupons. That's my little soapbox for the day. I will try to not get back on it. I don't get on them very often. But that is one that it just kind of makes my heart sad when I see people that are barely making ends meet, but they're going overboard, and then not having money left over for meat and other things they need because they bought 20 packages of Tide Pods. So yeah. So we're not going to do that. Now, back to the inserts. Mandy's asking, how much do inserts cost when you order them? It depends on where you order them from. For me, Mandy, I have a standing subscription, so it still comes out to about the same price as if I bought 4 papers locally. So it's not really a savings to order them online. It's not having to run around town to get them. You're still going to pay roughly, I guess, $1 or so an insert on this week. When there's 3 inserts, it's still going to come out to that $3 a newspaper price, which is how much my Sunday paper costs. But there are other places that you can get them from too. I'm just kind of telling you where we get it from. You can shop around if you want. The easiest thing to do really is to Google whole coupon inserts, and you're going to find a ton of places that do that. Sunday Coupon Inserts is really where we grab ours. So that's the one that I recommend just because I've used it. So you can go lots of places. Now, what you want to look for with inserts is I want to go with the biggest city that is available to me. So I always get folks at least once, if not multiple times a week, that will say, hey, I'm trying to use the matchups on Southern Savers, but the coupons aren't in my insert. That's because the bigger the city, the more coupons are in that city's paper. So a great example for my Kroger folks is that there was $1.50 off. It was on the front cover for Sweet Baby Ray's hot sauce. $1.50 off Sweet Baby Ray's hot sauce. Makes it completely free in Kroger. But it wasn't in every city's paper. So I want to make sure that I'm getting the best offers that I can. And the bigger the city, the more coupons are in that city's paper. So just keep that in mind as you're pondering where you want to get your inserts from, or whether or not you want to get, your little tiny paper or the bigger city that's next door. That's going to throw in and possibly make for some better deals to get a different paper, just so you have that in the back of your mind. So if you're curious as to where your papers come from, it's on the spine. It's super, super tiny. We've all got to haul out glasses, or you've got to play the seesaw game to kind of get close enough. So these guys are from somewhere, usually South Florida, except they look like they're from Texas this week, which is interesting. So you never know when you're ordering them online where they're going to end up coming from. But usually, like the Smart Source is from Tampa. Kind of, you can get an idea if you're wanting to go that route. Now, here's a little tidbit. If you order from Sunday Coupon Inserts, I now have these in the database on Southern Savers. So no matter where you get your inserts from, if you are using Southern Savers, this is really where you should be first. So you should make sure, and I have it, let's see, pre-pulled up. Here we go. You should make sure that in your profile, which you can get to from the very top of the site up here, but in your profile that you are setting, and hopefully I have this big enough. I tried to make it huge for you guys already, trying to be pre-prepped, but you should have it preset to where your newspaper is. And this way, your shopping list will be completely tailored to your city. So if I put in Sunday Coupon Inserts, then they're going to match. They're going to match with what came in your mail, and your shopping list is now going to match your inserts. And what I mean by that is when you come, here's my Kroger list that I just made. But when I come and I make a Kroger list, and I'm just going to go to the bottom to show you all the insert ones since it pulls them all there. We have this quick cutting guide at the bottom, and it's by insert. Well, it's not going to show you any that were not in your paper. So this way, if it's there, it actually existed. It was in my newspaper, but if it's not there, then it's not in my paper. It just goes away. So please take advantage of that. This is on the profile page of the site, so you can come in, you can set your newspaper, you can set your stores. You should be doing that. It's going to make organization and getting ready for a shopping trip so much easier if you will take just 2 seconds to do that. So how I did that to back up and show you is up here from the homepage. If you're logged in, right, you see my little drop-down name and then edit profile. So hopefully that will make it's super easy for you and take out a lot of extra work on your part. Let's see. So to jump to more questions. So Miss J is saying it was too much work that I had to give up. Help. So let's go there. So this is what I do. I do not really touch these, guys. I just opened the package. The only thing I'm going to do is write the date, usually somewhere wherever I can read it. So it'll be in the middle of the shrimp, whatever. Just write the date really big on the front. It's on the spine, but it's just too tiny to constantly have to look at. So the date goes on the front, and these go in a hanging file folder all together. So that when my shopping list tells me to come and find the coupons from the SS630, I'm going to find the Smart Source insert from June 3rd and cut whatever it told me to cut. So, that is the goal on how to organize quickly, is that I am not going to sit down and touch these, just to back up to that shopping list for a second again. I'm not going to touch these until they show up on the shopping list. So this is my Kroger list that I did this Saturday. I'm going to come in, I'm going to say, okay, what do I need? And I'm going to go back through all the various weeks. So this is the quick cutting guide that is at the bottom of the shopping list, and it's really meant for folks that are using this organizational system so that I'm not touching them. I'm not even having to think about what coupons I have. until they show up on the shopping list. And I do one other thing. I can kind of show you even more how we kind of take this. So for me to take it, I guess, to a even easier standpoint, I make all my children help. So when we're getting ready to go to the store, and this is my printout of my Kroger shopping list that I was just showing you. But when we are getting ready to go to the store, yes, Jonathan, Kroger is having another mega event. So that's why I went. But you guys can see that. So I actually tell the girls what I want them to cut, and I hand this list over to them, and they do all the cutting. So I kind of say, hey, I want you to cut all of those beans. I want you to cut all the purpose that you can find, all the Country Time and Kool-Aid, because we went really overboard and bought a ton of them. And then scratch out some, because guys, we're going to get a ton. I don't need all those Ken's dressings. They weren't all in my inserts. Those are going to be a lot of variations too. But you get the idea. So I kind of help them out so that they aren't cutting them all. Cut 2 of the Huggies. We were going to get the Huggies deal, the Sweet Baby Ray's hot sauce, whatnot. So that is just another step to try to take a little bit of work out of it on our part. Hand this list over to the kids, let them completely take over and cut all of the inserts for me while I deal with the printables, and then we're ready to go to the store. So to kind of go back to inserts really quick too, with inserts, if you find that your city is not listed, that's okay. All the inserts are going to end up showing up on your shopping list. So in a sense, you will be sent to find a coupon that maybe you didn't have if your city is not an option in the database. The cities that we do have covered are really covered by volunteers. So they're folks that have chosen to send in the variations for their city, which is a perk for them because now their shopping list is going to match in perfectly. But they're really helping you out as well. So we are always up for more volunteers if you want to jump in on that, if your city's not covered. But if your city's not covered and you don't have the time for it, and it's not really that much time. But if that's not an option, what I would recommend is let's pick a city that's near you or pick a city that's similar. So every Wednesday we post, and if you look on the homepage, to kind of show you where to look for this. But if you come and you click on Sunday ads right here, every Wednesday we post the preview. Oh, look, all the YouTube comments come in. We post the preview under Sunday ads of what each city got and the preview of what's coming next week. But we that way you can see the regional variations by city under the Sunday ads. So I'll actually just click on it and show you what I mean by that. But you can click on these regional insert variations, and it's going to show you each city what that city got, so that you can go through and kind of pick something that's maybe nearby. Always trying to say thank you to whoever does help. But if your city is not covered, feel free to send that in, because then that's more cities and more folks that will have a shopping list completely tailored to them. But again, you can just pick no city and all of them will show up, if that makes sense. So nothing's going to be excluded just because you didn't pick a city. I don't want you to feel like that's a requirement, especially if your city's not there. Should we do, Kendra's saying, should we do a week in advance? When I go to the store with my coupons, the deals are always gone. So Kendra, a few things there. And we all deal with this. So for me, this Kroger list, I would guess on this list probably 5 things that I had planned on grabbing that were completely gone. So a few things you can do if that happens to you. You can get rain checks. Most stores are great about it. Kroger mega events are really tricky with rain checks because a lot of Kroger stores will say, it wasn't in the weekly ad, so we don't want to write a rain check for it. And mega events have hundreds of unadvertised deals. So you end up not being able to get a rain check depending on your store. But most stores, Publix, even Target, they're going to give you a rain check if something wasn't there. So I would just go that route. I would also look at going, possibly if you're having a lot of issues, the day that the sale starts. So grocery sales start on Wednesdays, drugstore deals start on Sundays, and kind of just trying to tailor your shopping based on that. If things are running out super, super fast, is probably the best bet. One other option is to find out when your store gets their midweek truck. So Publix, for example, in our area gets their big midweek truck on Monday. So if you went shopping on Monday afternoon, they're going to be stocked. They're going to have gotten a whole new, refreshment basically of all of those big deals. And you're going to have a better chance of grabbing them if you were going versus going on, the second day of the ad. So maybe that would help a tad too. You can always get ready early too, Kendra, too. And maybe that's slightly your question, like the Publix ad that starts on Wednesday or Thursday, depending on where you live, is already up. I post that on Mondays. Bilo is already up this week. I'm ahead of the game on Bilo. I'm almost done with Kroger, and I should have Kroger done tonight, but it's really the mega event is continuing, and the rest of the ad is really, really tiny. But just re-couponing the mega event took me 40 forevers today. But most of the ads are always up early. So you could start to get ready to where the first day of the ad, you weren't sitting at home and still cutting coupons. You were in the store and shopping. And thank you, Six by the Faith. This is the absolute best way to do it. Organized by date, super easy. That's really the goal. Let's just take a lot of work out of this. For me, time-wise, because this is usually a question I get, this was a big Kroger trip, guys. 4 pages by the time it was all printed. But time-wise, I would say we were still ready to go to the store in less than 45 minutes. Cutting and printing a lot of coupons. And yes, I did enlist 2 children to help on that, but I don't know that they cut with any kind of fervor. They're usually like, do we have to do this? So they're not like off to the races on their prep, but they are help. I won't complain at whatever help I get. So mark how many I plan to grab, and the little arrow is usually me just saying that that's the coupon I had. That's the one I want to get. But marking how many I plan to get of the various deals, and then I'm ready to go so that when I'm in the store, I don't need to look at my coupons in the store. They could be literally in a Ziploc bag for us. And I just hand them all the coupons that I planned on using, go through them one time for the things they were out of, and don't hand those over. But I'm not walking through with a binder, slowly looking for deals. I'm just looking for what the shopping list says. So even here, I'm kind of giving myself some codes by 4 Nature Valleys and 2 Fiber Ones and, an idea when I get to the shelf. So I know what I'm doing without having to sit there and keep looking at the inserts. It's done. Coupons are pulled. Shopping list is telling me what to buy, and we're in and we're out fairly quickly. Now, Kroger was a madhouse. I don't normally go to Kroger. I don't normally shop on Saturday, period. So for those of you who do your grocery shopping on Saturday, I don't know. I'd have to get a coffee and chill to do that on a regular basis. But we still got in and out of there pretty quickly, even though half the town was in the store with us, it felt like. So are printables and inserts the same thing? Javon, that's a great question because we've got, inserts called Smart Source, and then we have a printable page for Smart Source. They're not necessarily the same thing. We don't see complete overlaps of what was in the insert and what is available to print. So you really want to have access to both. I don't know that you could go completely printables and not miss out on a lot of good deals. I think you would end up wanting those inserts. And I don't think if you tried to go away from printables, I think you'd be really, really sad. Just to look at the database, if we went solely onto the database side, just for printables, and I can tell you in a second, but it's in the thousands as the number of coupons that are available to print. So let's see, 2,042 right now in the database that are just printable coupons, which is huge. So I would say you want to be able to do both in that category. They're not the same at all, and you want access to both of them to have the most number of options for savings. So semi off topic, Erin has a question. I mentioned about adding smaller Visa gift cards to our Amazon account. How does that work? And how does one do that so that the 37 cents don't go to waste? So, Erin, let me see if I can pull it up and do a screen share without sharing all of, the life of our Amazon account. Here we go. So you can come in to, your Amazon account, and I will share this right here. Okay, so let's do a web share and just show this one page. So we can come in. I don't want to add $100. Let's say you literally, Erin, want to add 37 cents. And I'll stick this link in the comments too so that you can get there. But basically all I did was go to accounts and then go to manage your balance and reload your balance. So you can kind of see it across the top, but it's under the account side. So put in that whopping 37 cents that you have. And then all you need to do is just edit your payment method and put in the card number. Put in that Visa digital card that you have left, or that tiny little gift card that you have left that you didn't use it all up. Put in that card number and then hit reload. And it will send that money into your Amazon account using that card that you just asked it to use. So, you need to know specifically, Erin, how much is on that card to be able to do it. But it is a great way to use up those gift cards and not just have random $1.37s and whatnot sitting around. So I hope that helps. And it is a great way with the Visa digital offers that we're getting, like that Publix Huggies deal that we recently got. We just take it and automatically just load the $10 straight into our Amazon account versus trying to use that $10 somewhere else. It does get tricky, especially when you're dealing with a paper or an email of a gift card. Makes life a little bit more simple. And so, Jonathan, yes, with Kroger, it's a mega event, but it's the same mega event. So there are some changes just on produce and meat in the new Kroger ad, but really not even much there. Pretty much the whole ad was the mega event, and it's just continuing for a second week because that's how Kroger runs. And Heidi Harris Teeter is doing super doubles. I'm guessing that's what you're asking by the 3-day blitzes. So super doubles actually started early, Heidi. It started on Friday this time, but it ends tomorrow. So if that's what you were talking about with super doubles, then yes, we still have them. And those are, hopefully, they've been running every month. We haven't really had a break in a while, which is great. Always the first full weekend of the month. So if you're trying to guess, it makes me grab a calendar, but to kind of give you a guess, that's going to put you at the weekend after July 4th, for July as being the next one. So assuming they go back to their normal routine, that's going to start on Sunday the 8th and run until Tuesday the 10th. But it's still running for now, so we don't really even need to think about the future one. You've got one if you just head to the store today. So Judith says, what about store coupons versus printed or newspaper coupons? So we've got a ton of digital e-coupons that are out there. So if we were to talk about e-coupons specifically, and I am going to show you, we'll just do it from this side, I guess. Show you from the public side of the database, but ton of e-coupons that are available. Let's see, I'm going to slide this over so you guys can see them all. With e-coupons, so Target Cartwheels are different. They are their own little ball game, but most e-coupons for Buy Low or Publix, we've got to get through all these Target Cartwheels first. There's a lot. Here we go. So Buy Low, Dollar General, Food Lions, these guys. There are a few things I need to think about with store digital coupons. They don't double. They only come off one time, generally. Kroger has some exceptions there. And they are a true manufacturer coupon, which means that I can't use, so I couldn't go in and use this Bordeaux's with a printable Bordeaux's on the same item. I could grab two and use the digital coupon and the printable if I wanted to, one on each item, but I can't on the same item. So it won't double, only comes off one time, and cannot be paired with another manufacturer's coupon. However, what I would consider them as is like another set of inserts or another set of printables that I didn't have to take any time to print. So I'm not opposed to using them at all. Just be cautious in stores like Buy Low, Harris Teeter, Lowe's Foods, Ingles, stores that still double coupons. I want to be really, really cautious before I go in and I load a bunch of 50-cent digital coupons, because if I've got a paper coupon for 50 cents off, that's going to double. That's $1 off, where the digital coupon is not $1 off. So just keep that in mind. That's really the only thing that you've got to watch on digital coupons, that they're really the value that you want to use, that I don't have a higher value paper one, and then go ahead and load them. The tricky part, though, is that in most stores, the minute you scan your buy low card, that digital coupon is coming off. So if I do have a paper coupon that I want to use instead, I'm kind of stuck. I can't, because the digital coupon will have already come off, and it's not going to let me use a paper coupon on top of it. So you're going to need to be wise as to what you load. Don't just go to town loading them all, especially in a store that regularly doubles coupons. You want to load only what you know you will use today, instead of just loading them all. Now, stores like Dollar General, Publix, where I don't have a card, I just enter my phone number at the checkout screen where you normally swipe your card. I can enter my phone number 2 seconds before I pay, and it will take off whatever digital coupons I did not already use a paper coupon for. So Publix, you could go to town and load all of those digital coupons. You're still going to have a say in terms of what coupons you end up using. Did I use the paper? Did I use the digital? I still have that option. But in stores where I have to scan my card, I don't have that option. So just some advice, I guess, and tips to be able to use them a little bit better is, depending on the store that you're in, you can either go to town and load them all, or you need to be a little bit more cautious and just load the ones that you know you want to use today so that you don't run into any issues when you're checking out. And hopefully that wasn't too confusing. Hopefully that was kind of an answer to your question rather than way more than you wanted to know. But yeah, we kind of get to everything there. So is the Kimberly-Clark rebate over? Yes, Crystal, I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure it ended at the end of the month. So the Publix deal is no more, but that is also in the database. So we can check it really quick if you want. And I can tell you in 2 seconds, but yes, I'm not seeing it. It is gone. So the database on Southern Savers that I keep showing you guys the screenshot of, it only shows the coupons that are still good. So if you go into the database and type in Huggies and it's not there, it's not good anymore. So hopefully that helps answer that question. Yeah, and Karen says, Kroger digital coupons sometimes don't last long. Grab them while you can is my motto. And Karen, I kind of agree with you on that one for Kroger, especially, and this is a big Kroger tip for folks that are regular Kroger shoppers. So if they are running 5-time use Kroger coupons, and they tend to run those every 4 to 5 weeks, if they have a whole bunch of 5-time use coupons, right about the time that the sale ad ends and a new no digital 5-time use coupons kind of block is coming out, because they always run 2-week-long ads, or 2-week-long promotions, there's always a mega event that follows them. I can use those 5-time use coupons with a mega event, but come the first day of the mega event, all those coupons are going to disappear. None of them were set to expire. They should have still been there, but Kroger always takes them down the minute the mega event starts. But if you loaded them before the new sale ad started, you've still got them. You've still got them until they expire, which is really like another week and a half. So this is just a huge tip if you're a regular Kroger shopper to be in there, especially right before a sale ad ends. Load any digital coupons that you know work with the next ad, because guys, I post it 2 days in advance. So load any of those digital coupons that you want before that mega event starts, because the minute that mega event starts, they're all going to disappear, and they're going to make for some really good deals if you had them. So I completely agree with you, Karen, on that one. And just with Kroger, you got to remember that I have the digital coupon loaded, and I need to go in with either less paper or no paper, if maybe that's the case on that one. But I got to know that they're there. So Christy says, off topic, I have a CVS fiasco for this week. I went on Saturday and they had put new notices out, and I got my orders together, but they were not available until Sunday. I had to reverse 80% of my order and was so frustrated. So Christy, if you go in to CVS and they've already tagged for Sunday, most CVSs that close at night, they're not 24-hour CVSs, They do actually start the sale ad early, but a lot of times it's not until after 6 p.m. But there'll be overlap. The Sunday deals will actually already be running in the computer, and the manager could have keyed that in for you versus causing a lot of issues, especially if they were already tagged on the shelves. But that is kind of a fun way of making some extra deals work a little early if your store closes. Okay. There also may be weeks, so Erin's chiming in, where you didn't want any or just one, so getting a physical paper wouldn't be worth it. Yes. Oh, I guess, Erin, you were answering someone's question, and I thought you had one. So yeah, if someone's asking that specific question in terms of, are there weeks where I should or shouldn't get an insert, that is where using the insert preview that we post every single Wednesday is going to give you a big heads up. Like Memorial Day weekend, don't get a paper. There are no inserts in the paper. Little things like that. So we post that, and I can show it to you again, but we post it every Wednesday, and it is just clicking directly on from the homepage that Sunday ads button that is going to load here in a second. So this Sunday ads blue button right there on the homepage. If you click on that, or if you're on the mobile site, you can click on more, and this is at the top under more. But you can see the preview every week on Wednesday of what is coming the next week. And guys, if you want to know early, they're in the database early. So we already have this coming weeks in the database. If we went to the database and we typed in, we're going to get some that expire too. But so if we wanted to see the 0610 smart sources, look, they're all there. So I just share it on Wednesday because sometimes I don't have them on Monday night. This stresses my mom out whenever I say that we already have them in the database because she's the one that puts them in there. And I don't think she wants you all personally mad at her, but it'll be okay. So they're not always there on Mondays, but a lot of times they are. So if you really, really want to know what's coming, you can just head to the database on Mondays and type in next Sunday's date. So this is what is coming on the 10th. If you look at it that way, and you want to think about putting in the name of the insert. So RMN is the new Red Plum or Smart Source, and you're going to see all those inserts ready and waiting for you. And it's actually some pretty good ones that are coming out this coming weekend in terms of trying to decide how many you wanted to get. That's probably going to help you out a lot. Okay. Now we haven't gotten through a lot of organization. You guys are keeping me hopping with questions. So I don't want to leave you hanging. If you do have organization questions, I will try to get back to it, I promise. Anne says, when's the best time to get ink for the Brother wireless printer? I'm running out of ink printing coupons. So Anne, that is one where occasionally we'll see them on sale and deals on Amazon, but a lot of times they're just already super cheap. So if you have my favorite Brother wireless, we always get off-brand ink refills for that, and you can just go to Amazon and type in, I think for most of us it's the TN450 is the name of that cartridge that works for everyone. Like right now there's a 2-pack that's 24, and those are high yield cartridges. That 450 is going to last you like 2,000 sheets. So that's $12 a piece going with a 2-pack. For 24 is probably the best deal, and I'll stick this in the comments for you too, just so that you can see it. But that is definitely going to be, it's still a great price. Are there times when we see them as low as $5 or $6? Yes, there are, but it's hit or miss, and it's really just whenever companies happen to run a promotion. But $12 for 2,000 sheets, it isn't bad either, and I would totally stock up on it. Let's see. One more question, and then we're going to get back to organization. And this will be Mandy. So Mandy says, I'm so confused now. I just need to organize and take small steps. So I'm sorry, Mandy, that we got you really, really confused. Let's back you up and make it small, make it easy. So let's start back here. We're keeping our inserts whole. We're writing a date on the front of them. And then we're going to put these in a hanging file folder. One thing that I've used in the past, and I really have this where I show it when I teach workshops now, is an accordion file folder. So you can get one of these guys for like $3 in Target or Walmart. And it has, the one you want is one that has 12 pockets in it. So I could take all my inserts and put them in there by week in each pocket. You don't even need to take the time to label the tops. Don't worry about that. So I'm going to come in. Remember, I wrote the date really huge on the front. I'm going to come in, I can open it up and I can see what that date says and then just keep on moving back until I find the date that I need. So I don't need to bother with labels because once 12 weeks comes and this is full, I'm going to come in, I'm going to find the oldest week that's in here and I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to put this week in its place. So every week I'm going to get rid of one and put one in. So I'm kind of constantly moving through and then moving back through the longer that you coupon. So don't worry about labels. Long story there. So I'm going to come in. My shopping list tells me again to find the SS from the 603. Then I'm going to find the inserts from June 3rd, and I'm going to cut just that coupon that the shopping list told me to cut. And guys, this is why, again, just to show it to you one more time, that on the bottom of the shopping list, we now have the quick cutting guide that's going to group everything out by insert date. So that when you go in and you pull that 603 and you pull out that smart source, here's all the coupons that you need to grab in it so that you're not continually going back. Oh, there's another one that I need to get. Because believe me, I've done that for years. So we just added that to the shopping list last year. And it was one of those like, why did I not do this 8 years ago? But that's why that's there. It is to help folks who are using this type of system. So we're only coming in, dealing with the coupons that are on this week's list and heading to the store. Don't deal with anything else. Don't try to go crazy and organize them all. You're just going to kind of drive yourself a little on the wild side, trying to keep track of a bunch of coupons. So even if you go through, and I've been tempted to do this for years, guys, there'll always be moments where you get the insert and you start to look through and you're like, oh, I would use that. Yeah. Let's go ahead and cut this one right here because if I find this on sale, I'm totally going to use it. Well, here's the thing. If you cut this randomly, but it's not on your shopping list, you have to remember that you have it somewhere because this isn't really the way that you organize your coupons. You organize by not organizing, if you think about it. So if I cut this and I put it in some sort of, coupon folder or something else, I got to remind myself that it's already been cut when it does show up on my shopping list. And when I'm walking through the store, that I even have it. And that's not always going to happen. So there's going to be a lot of times where you are tempted as you go through cutting things for this week's list. You're going to be tempted to grab and go ahead and pre-cut some others. I would say it needs to be a rare exception when you do print or do cut early. It's not on your shopping list, but you decide to go ahead and cut. Some exceptions that I would, as examples, like the $3 off OxyClean detergent or your $2 off Tides, if that's your favorite brand. When we see our twice a year that we see the $2.25 off of Finish detergents, I would go ahead and cut those. I'm definitely going to find a deal on them. I have no doubt I'm going to use this coupon. So for me, as I'm going through getting ready for another trip, I would go ahead and cut those. But most of the coupons, if they are not on my shopping list for today's trip, I'm not going to touch them. I'm going to just keep on moving through, looking for what I need for today's trip, and then fold it up, put them back in the pocket where they go, and I will come and I will get them on another week when they line up with the shopping list. But I'm not going to drive myself crazy trying to deal with them now. So I hope that helps a little bit to kind of explain that one too. Now, that said, let's talk about other things you could do. So again, I've already shared what I do. But some folks do like to go through, just like I mentioned, and cut what they know they will use and put it in some sort of folder, binder, whatever makes you happy. So the ones they know they're going to use, they like to keep with them. And then they keep everything else whole. And they're going to come back to it if it shows up on their shopping list. That's really up to you, but it's more time. And it's going to take you having to remember, what did I cut versus what did I not cut? And that is actually a lot more complicated than you think your brain, you think you're going to be fine with it, but you're probably going to end up going hunting for coupons that you've actually already cut. But there are a lot of folks that do that. So you can kind of make a blend of any system that you want. But this is the easiest, just keeping them whole and dealing with them when they show up on your shopping list for sure. And Mandy says, okay, well, what about all the coupons that are coming from other places? We've got these guys. I tried to pull out some examples for you, Mandy. I was ready for you. So we've got the ones that are printing in the store. We've got the ones that maybe you printed early. Or if you're like me, I have my little stash. I need to file them and put them away, but you have your stash of what you had planned on using, but they were completely out of various things in the store. So now I have this, pre-printed Kleenex wet wipes, but I didn't use it in Kroger because Kroger didn't have any more. So you do need something, Mandy, something little. And this is where the little coupon folder can come in handy. So we're going to organize it by locations in the store, just large sections of the store. You can kind of see that one pretty well. There's not going to be a ton in here. If you were to look at this one, some of the categories are empty. I have a lot that I've printed here lately, but really, when I look under fruits and veggies, there's 2 in the whole section. So this isn't I'm keeping all my coupons in here. It's just some. It's just the ones that I printed early or I got in the store, that printed here in buy low. Because remember, guys, I'm about to lose this whole stack. I don't want coupons all over the floor. There we go. So even though this has a lovely buy low logo on it, this is really a manufacturer's coupon. I can use this anywhere. So I want to have it organized. I'm going to stick it in a category type system. Now, to show you completely what I do, Mandy, this is really in a bag with a couple of those same filing systems with their tops all cut off. You don't need this much space. I have it because I use it when I show folks at workshops as other ideas of how you can organize. But again, most of them are empty. And then I kind of keep other things in my little bag if I were to come to it. But you can go as small here or as large as you want. The more that you add to it, the more time it can take. But I do have some extra categories. So I showed you that one. I can pull this one out and show you these categories too. So these are more the personal care sections. Going all the way through. So we've got lots of options as to where we can put things. But again, a lot of them are going to stay pretty empty because you're really only going to put in there what you printed early. Maybe, for me, I had some where I had planned on grabbing them, so I had them pre-cut as well. And once they're cut, you can't put them back in the insert. I had planned on getting a Sweet Baby Ray's hot sauce, but my Kroger was out of them. So now that they're cut, they're going to go in here too. And it's hard sometimes to even remember what's in there that's pre-cut, but that's the best way to handle it. So the accordion or the hanging file folder for all of the inserts, and then anything that you printed early or cut early and didn't use or found in the store is going to go in some sort of coupon folder or coupon bag, however big you want to get with that. And Mandy, I would honestly start small and then, add to it if you decide that you want to with multiples. This is an insulated lunch bag. It costs $10 at Staples. And then it's 3 coupon folders with their tops cut off. The first 2 hold all of the ones that I may have. And then these are for each of the little stores. So you can, get as fancy as you'd like in that or not. And then because I do regularly use it, since I already have it, I keep my Publix flyers folded up in the back. So the current Publix flyers are always with me and ready to go. Since I can use them at Publix or buy low, I can end up grabbing things in buy low that I wasn't expecting on just because it paired in really, really well with that Publix coupon. Okay, and yes, that's a lunch box. So it's just an insulated lunch bag from Staples. So pretty low key. It's not anything super fancy. And believe me, back to school season is starting in a month. So you could probably find it even cheaper than $10 if you just wait for some deals. And then the coupon folders fit in there perfectly. That's kind of why the route that I went that way. And then Deanna says, do I have a favorite way to organize printable coupons? I tend to print too many in the fear that they may not be there when I need to print them. So I'm kind of with you, Deanna. I think a lot of folks do that. What I would recommend with printables is I tend to follow 3 rules. If it's a high value, I will print it when I see it, meaning, we have a $3 off Advil or a $3 off Robitussin. I will go ahead and print that when I see it. If it's a brand that I know we will use, it also gets printed. So back in the day when we were doing diapers, any Huggies coupons or any Pampers coupons that came out, I love Cetaphil. So anytime I see Cetaphil face products, which are out right now, I will print those when I see them. And then the third one for us is any meat or vegetable coupons. If we see meat or vegetables, we print them when we see them. Beyond those three, I would say you can leave it there for a lot of offers. There are going to be some that will be there at the end of this month and they'll be there at the end of next month. They aren't going anywhere. Now, lately, we are seeing some go away really, really fast that are surprising me. Like, it was like fungal care or something. I get it. We all have issues. But I was not expecting a coupon like that to disappear in 2 days. So I can definitely see the fear of feeling like you needed to grab them. If you are in that boat and you're getting a lot and it just makes you happy to get a lot, then I would still go and let's organize them by location of the store. So they're still going to be in your pockets ready for you to use. And I don't know if your brain works this way, but for me, typically if I cut it, and I take the time to organize it, my brain will usually do a pretty good job of remembering for a couple of weeks what is in that folder, whatever I just recently filed. I just wouldn't try to print and hope that your brain can hold on to it past maybe 2 weeks. One thing that could also help you is that these printables are still going to be on your shopping list. So for me, when I'm getting ready to go to the store, there are going to be moments where, and there were a couple actually, like I decided to get Magnum ice cream. That printable is gone. Its printable limit reached, but I knew that I had printed it and I had 2 in my binder. In my bag, wrong word. I don't have a binder. But you get the idea. So for me, as I'm going through, I'm actually going to pull those, before I even get to the store. I'm just going to go through the bag really quick and grab whatever those printables were early. So that is kind of a perk, is that they're still going to show up on your shopping list, even though you've already printed them. They're still there. If they are gone, that limit reached that you see right there, we keep that in the database for 2 weeks. After a coupon reaches its limit, it's going to hang around and still be on your shopping list for 2 weeks. We kind of had to make a cutoff. Yes, the coupon may not expire for 2 months, but that would just drive a whole bunch of people crazy. So hopefully that will help too. You got 2 more weeks that I'm going to remind you to use it as well and remind you to look in your coupon folder for it or wherever you organized it. So if I cut and I don't use, Denise is saying she'll paper clip them back into the insert. So that's a great option too, Denise. For me, usually when I get home from the store, I just shove them in a pocket and just file them into the bag at some point. But I'm usually not in the mindset of sitting back down and looking at the inserts to put them back in where they could go. But you completely could, especially if you were doing a hanging file. You could just stick them straight into the hanging file if you wanted to have the next time that you came through. Jennifer says, do I sit down and tend to my couponing daily? So besides the fact that yes, I do this a lot, but no, Jennifer. So for me, I tend to get ready to go to the store on Tuesday afternoons so that I can shop on Wednesdays. So I'm in Publix and Bilo and Lowe's Foods every Wednesday, just looking for unadvertised deals to post to the site. And when I'm there, I will tend to grab items as well, because if I'm already walking through the store, I might as well. But I will get ready for that trip on Tuesday. I don't tend to do anything else with the shopping list. I make it, but I don't even deal with my coupons when I'm making it. I sit down and make my shopping list just like everybody else would on usually Tuesday afternoons after I finish the Harris Teeter list. Like, you've got kind of times where things fit into your routine. So that's mine. I finished Harris Teeter. We get that list posted around 4:30 and I start prepping for tomorrow's shopping. Usually take no more than an hour. I don't even know if I've taken that long in a long time. And we're done. I won't look at them again until next week when I'm headed to go to the store. So part of that answer, though, Jennifer, is a little different for some folks. I only shop once a week. This week, going to Kroger on a Saturday night is an incredibly rare exception to our routine. And my husband will probably chime in and tell you it even kind of threw off our routine, because I drove up at 8:30 and we still needed to have dinner. Saturday night is everybody needs to get a bath night before church the next day. So it was a little on the stressful side for me to decide to do that. But once I got all the coupons together and was ready to go to Kroger, I realized how many of them expired on Saturday night. It's like, we got to go. We can't cut them and then not be able to use them. But I tend to only shop that one day a week on Wednesday. So I could get out and look at a bunch of coupons and get lists together, but I'm not going to go to the stores other than Wednesday. And we do that for a few reasons. The biggest one is that every time you go to the store, it costs you money. You are going to leave having spent money. So for us, it is a huge help to our budget to only shop once a week. But the other reason is we live way out of town. The nearest grocery store that I would like to shop at is about 25 minutes away. So I'm not going to make that haul just because I found free Kleenex wipes at Kroger. I'm not going to get in the car and drive 25 minutes to go get those wipes at Kroger before anybody else does. It's okay. You can have the wipes. I will just get them somewhere else on the day that I normally shop. And it just kind of have to take that low key aspect to it because there are definitely a lot more people that are way more keyed up and they can have them. I don't need to fight them for them for sure. So Len says, my Rite Aids are converting to Walgreens, and Rite Aid has been my go-to drugstore for years. I don't like Walgreens. Should I switch to CVS? So Len, yeah, you asked the wrong person that, because my answer to you would be, you should have switched to CVS years ago. So Rite Aid's had some really good deals. I am 100% a CVS girl. I went to Walgreens just for you guys, 3 or 4 weeks ago. That was the first time I'd been in a Walgreens in 6 months. I just don't have a need. CVS has so many deals that I never have a need to touch Walgreens, and it's just not a happy place for me. So I am 100% a CVS girl. Now, that said, I don't know when your Rite Aid's converting, but they are running some really, really good deals on gift cards starting 6/10. So not this week, but next Sunday. So if you still have a Rite Aid next Sunday, I'd still go. A ton of gift card deals for Father's Day on all sorts of things with limits of 2 on a whole bunch of them. So you could leave with some really good deals. And Rite Aid next week has OxyClean for 99 cents with that $3 off OxyClean coupon that I just mentioned that you could have cut from your inserts from a couple weeks ago. So those are the 2 deals that I would get before they close, Len. And then let's just go CVS. And I think you'll be okay in the end. But you asked the wrong person probably. You probably knew what I was going to say on that one. Anyone that's been around for a while, you've heard me talk about my love of CVS. So Francis, we already stuck this in the comments, but I get my inserts from SundayCouponInserts.com. So hopefully that helps. They just come in the mail, but you can get them from your local paper too. Keep in mind, guys, I mentioned that, I get 4 and that's a lot for some of you, but I do want you to at least get 2. And the reason for that, why I want you to at least get 2 sets of inserts, so 2 papers, is that we do want to stock up for at least 6 weeks, which for most items is usually at least 2 items. I need 2 coupons. But the other reason is that if I'm headed to CVS or Target or some of the other stores and they have it buy one, get one, I have to purchase both of them. CVS is going to let me use a coupon on each one of them. My Publix folks in Florida, you guys have to buy both of them on a buy one, get one deal, but you're allowed a coupon on both items. So that is why we want at least 2 inserts. If you want more than that, the more you get, the more time it's going to take. You have to cut them, even when you're not even organizing them, even when you're doing my system. I still have to pull this shopping list and cut what this shopping list tells me to cut. And if I have 15 inserts, that's going to take a lot longer than if I have 2. So, keep that in mind as you're trying to decide how many inserts to get, that the more you get, no matter how you organize them, the more you get, the more time this is going to take. So hopefully that helps to answer that question too. Let's see. And I'm glad Aaron is also chiming in on that CVS one. I think there's a lot of us biased CVS lovers in the room. But yes, so everyone, remember too, everyone in the Southeast is losing their Rite Aids. So you're not alone on that one. There will be no more Rite Aids in South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama. There haven't ever been any in Florida, but you get the idea. So they're going away for everyone. I know in our area we still have them, but they all say that they have a Walgreens pharmacy already, like the pharmacy converted months ago. So it'll be interesting to see when the stores start to convert like you're seeing now. Let's see. How much is it per insert? Again, Jovan, it's going to depend on where you end up going. So for me with Sunday coupon inserts, I kind of don't even think about it because we have a standing subscription. But I will pull it up and see again. And it just depends on how much it is per, like how many inserts are in the paper. The amount varies each week. So the cheapest it's going to be is $9.85 for the one that we get, because that also is coming in a flat rate priority mailer. So they're in my mailbox on Monday, and I'm kind of paying for that speed as well versus having them just sent first class mail, which is definitely cheaper. But for 3 sets of if the paper had 3 inserts in it, which was this past Sunday, and we have a set of 4, we're basically getting 12 inserts total plus shipping. It's $16.25 according to the Sunday coupon insert site that I just pulled up so I could tell you correctly what that number was. So I just paid, it's like basically paying $4 a paper at that route when you're looking at 4 papers times all of the inserts coming to you. So for me, in essence, I could have gotten 4 papers locally cheaper because our paper here is $3 a paper. Now, most weeks we don't have 3 inserts. Most weeks we have 2 inserts, but you get the idea. So that price does vary by week based on the number of inserts. This is just one site though, and there are a lot of other sites that offer coupons the same way. You really just want to kind of figure out what works for you. So this is where we have ordered from for ages. And I love that I know that they are always in my mailbox on Monday so that I am ready to cut my coupons on Tuesday and go to the store. Like it doesn't ever hold me back from shopping, and that makes me happy. So you want to factor in how long it takes for them to come to you as you're trying to decide what companies you want to go through. And you also want to look at where their inserts are coming from, because I do want to get the biggest city available to me, like we were mentioning earlier, because the bigger the city, the more coupons are in that city's paper. So hopefully that helps explain that one a little bit. Let's see. Oh, good. So Mandy, so you did the Colgate deal today, building confidence. So yes, and if you guys have not already, I should have pulled some of the little freebies, but that's a really, really great deal to get started on. I'm guessing you mean the Colgate deal at CVS. There's also free Colgate at Kroger, so you could go, one of 2 places. But CVS is super easy, and it's using your Smart Source insert that you just got. So grab your Smart Source insert from yesterday. There's a $1 off Colgate. I just saw it as I flipped through. But grab your $1 off Colgate and then head to the store. When I say that, now I'm starting to second guess myself and think it was in the red plum. Here it is. So all you need is this coupon. $1 off Colgate. You walk in to CVS. Let me see if I can hold that better. Walk into CVS, head to the CVS Coupon Center. It's going to print out a store coupon for $2.50 off of Colgate, and you can use these together. So use the store and this manufacturer. You're going to have $3.50 off a toothpaste, and it only costs $3.50. So completely free tube of toothpaste on your first week out, and you don't even have to understand how to use CVS. You don't even there are no rewards involved in that. So that is a sweet deal to get started with, Mandy. I'm glad that you did not miss that one. That's a fun one. And there are some other fun ones out there too that are kind of just as easy, just to kind of say, I'm going to walk in with these 3 coupons. So, and if you are getting started, what I would recommend, I'm kind of showing you my big, huge 3-page Kroger ad. But if you're brand new, you're trying to figure all this out, what I would recommend is actually not going quite this intense, but looking at whatever grocery store is near you. So pulling up, on Southern Savers, pull up the Publix ad or the Kroger ad and pick 10 items from that ad. And if you want to make it even better, you want to make it fun, then click on that new dollar or less button and pick 10 of the best items from that ad. And then let's get that shopping list put together so that I'm not going to sit here and, try to pull 40 different coupons together for a huge Publix trip. It's going to be a little overwhelming. It's going to be more than you can handle, I promise. But if we're here, we're looking at the Publix ad, this is the dollar or less tab. And on Mondays, it's always going to be down here because there's just too many others until one of these weekly ads goes away. But when I click on that dollar or less, everything from all of the lists end up pulling together. We're going to make one of them go away. We don't need 2 weekly ads there. But if I wanted to get ready for this coming Wednesday at Publix and just hit the top deals, I could do this. So I can pick 10 items, just 10. Add 10 items to your shopping list, click the little boxes. And once you've got 10 items, let's find the coupons for those 10 items and let's go to the store. So don't spend a ton of time trying to get your head wrapped around things. Just kind of getting your feet wet with a really small list and a few coupons. And then you'll see that it worked and you saved a bunch of money. And then you can slowly start to make that list a little longer as you can handle it. Another thing that I would recommend if you're just getting started is setting a timer. So if you're not going to do the 10 item, you want to look at the full list. And I get that. That's probably where I'd want to be as well. Like, no, I just want to save money. Let's look at the full list. Still set a timer. So for me, I would set that timer for 45 minutes. Sit down, look at the list, add things to your shopping list, kind of go to town, start to gather the coupons. But when that timer goes off, let's go to the store. Because honestly, even if I didn't have this coupon right here for this Juicy Juice, it's still buy one, get one. It's still 50% off without the coupon. So let's still go to the store and grab it, even without the coupon. And next time, hopefully we'll work a little faster and have a few more coupons. But we don't need to just completely stress out trying to get to the store and spending a ton of time to do it when we could have just, tone it down a little bit. The timer's gone. Then we're going to be done too. And we're going to go home at this point. So, just to make life a tad bit easier all around as you're getting started. So Judith, how much storage do I have for a family of 7? I have a walk-in pantry. Actually, you can go through our Facebook videos and I gave you a tour probably a couple months ago now. And then I have an outside freezer. So I can't imagine life without an outside freezer. We also have an outside fridge, which occasionally we end up using the freezer part of that for extra things too. But the outside fridge comes in handy because we have chickens and sometimes the eggs will just overflow from the inside fridge and I've got to have a place to put them. We'll grab extra milk because I'm only going to the store once a week. So both of those come in handy for us too. It's just an old fridge that just keeps on kicking. So it got sent to the garage a long time ago. But that is how we organize. So extra freezer, extra fridge, and then a walk-in pantry that Erin says has a unicorn light. So we do. We have a motion sensor light switch on our walk-in pantry because my kids constantly left the light on. So now they can't. It turns on when you walk in and then it turns off within a minute after you walk in. It's a happy, happy place. And we should all install them in our pantries. So yes, Mandy, please just baby steps, little tiny baby steps. It's going to keep you from getting overwhelmed and you're going to be able to stick with it a lot better. Thank you, Len. I'm glad that you were watching and keeping up with softball. So the Seminoles won tonight. That's good. I don't normally get to sit down and watch their games, but sweet. We're almost there, but I'm glad you're rooting with me. So, well, guys, I'm going to pop off where we've really hit our time here. Thanks for joining me tonight. I hope we hit a lot of your questions. We got most of the way through organization, I think. If you wanted me to go in depth on a coupon binder, you're really on the wrong Facebook Live. But hopefully in the end, if you are trying to get started or you want to go low key, then we covered a lot of ways for you to do that. Because the least amount of time that you put into this, honestly, the more likely you are to do this long term. And that's our goal here. It's not to have some crazy hobby for 6 months. It's to have a long-term change of how you approach grocery shopping and how you're saving money. Because in the end, if you can get things crazy cheap, why should you stop? That shouldn't be as something we did for 6 months and then we got burned out. So that's really why we take the approach of not cutting our coupons until we need them. That's kind of the low key, but low key means that you're more long term. And that's how I would want you to look at it. So I hope that helps you guys. You know, if you're trying to help other folks get started, I would encourage you to share this with them too so that they can get started low key. But thanks for joining me, and we will pop back in next Monday night, same time, always, for our Monday night Q&As. And I will also pop in on Wednesday with all of the deals that we got in the store this week. So I hope that this helps you guys. And again, thanks for joining me.